It's the 29th of April and we started our planting out yesterday, and so we're almost finished. The allotment is looking superb, just the way we planned to get everything in. It's a lovely sunny day, and of course we've been able to finish all the planting that we'd planned. This is the raised bed for tomatoes, and of course you can see there we've got a long line of different types of tomatoes, and hopefully as we've had previously, we will have a good crop. We've got some French climbing beans in a grow pot. We've got some ochre tubers in with some flowers, lots of onions, spring onions in pots, along with a couple of garlic there. And then we look to our elephant garlic raised bed, and that is looking superb. We see there, we can see the elephant garlic that was planted last October. Again, we can see the rhubarb. I've picked some of those today, so we've been able to clear it up, and that is looking superb. So again, some good elephant garlic planted last year, and the rhubarb is now being harvested. We have another raised bed. Those are runner beans. We have some pots with lots of different vegetables. We've got kohlrabi, still some pots to be planted up, so we've got room for putting more vegetables around the allotment. Again, another small raised bed with garlics that were planted last October, and we can see there that a couple of the garlics have put on those capes, and those are really nice, picked and sauteed in butter. It really is a nice thing to have. So we'll just pick those two, and by taking the scapes, it allows the garlic, instead of putting effort into the flowers and the seed, it allows the garlic to put all that strength into the bulb, developing the bulbs. So we'll be taking those before we leave today. The bed next to it is our onion and beetroot. So we can see there we've put in a number of different onions, and this year we're growing them in clusters, so 3 or 4 onions together, and then when they're ready to be harvested, we just remove the largest one and allow the others to develop. That seems to work very well for us over the last couple of years. We can see there the chard that was planted last year, and that one seems to be on its last leg, and we've put some young ones beside it, some new plants. So as soon as that one is being harvested and we've removed it, the young ones will take its place. Again, we can see another large chard plant there that's coming to the end of its we've picked as much as we want there, and we'll get another couple of meals from that, and then we'll allow the new chard plants to take over. This is also a bean. I think these are the French climbing beans. So this year we've got the dwarf beans, the French climbing beans, and runner beans as usual. So lots of beans to be had. This is our cherry tree. We've been praying for this one to fruit. This is 3 years old, and finally this year we can see that there are lots of fruits on it. You can see there. So the wait is over, and hopefully this year we'll be able to pick cherries from this tree. Inside the fruit cage, the fruit bushes are doing really well. We'll give those some feeding and a little bit of weeding around them. There's still a bit of weeding to be done, and they should do very well, produce some lovely fruits this year. Right in the middle is our Taunton cabbage. This plant is 3 years old, and throughout the winter it produced some really lovely cabbage leaves that we could collect and eat. And then we expect that it's going to be affected by the cabbage butterfly, so we'll prune that back and then wait for the winter, wait for the colder months when it'll come back strong. We expect this plant to last about 10 years before we'll have to replace it. And all we do is we just take a cutting from it, replant it, and that's it for another 10 years. Very, very good, the Taunton cabbage. Okay, we've also got our strawberry raised bed, and we've really cut back on those this year. They're fruiting really well, and we'll put in a few more as soon as we're able to. So we've thinned them out a little bit, give the bed a good weeding, and now we're ready to put in some fresh strawberry plants. Next to the strawberry plants is our leek raised bed, and there are still some leek plants from last year still there, ready to be harvested, and we've just planted quite a few new leek plants, so that will continue. We'll keep harvesting. We tend to use our leek in soups, that sort of thing, and by the time we finish harvesting those older ones, these new ones should start to come together. Again, we're growing those in clusters, so there are 3 or 4 leeks together, and again we'll just pull a cluster whenever we need it or whatever. We've lost our blueberry plant, so that will need to be replaced. The winter, it died over the winter, so we'll have to replace that one. That was a really good strong blueberry plant. And next to that is a raised bed where we grow our broad beans, and there we're ready. We'll need to put some string around, but we've got enough broad beans there to keep the family fed. Everybody tends to like having broad beans, so we're looking forward to those, harvesting those. These are our currant bushes. We've got black currant and the red currants there, and they're flowering nicely. We'll give them a good feed, but make sure that they're fed so that we get some really nice fruit from them this year. But I doubt if they'll let us down. And there we can see there's also some gooseberries in there, so that's quite good. So a nice cluster of fruit bushes in this area. This is our brassica enclosure. We haven't done particularly well with the cabbage over the last 2 years, so this year we've decided to change things a little bit. Here we've got turnips. We've planted some turnips, and we've planted some Brussels sprouts, so we'll see how we do with those. We had a problem with weeds, lots of weeds, and also the butterfly got in, and we had problems with caterpillars, so we've changed things a little bit. So it's Brussels sprouts and turnips this year. We'll see how we do with those. This is our grapevine growing along the wall, on the wire along the wall, and it's looking fabulous. There are lots of fruit. See, it's flowering nicely. A strong grapevine, and hopefully we'll get some good fruits from that this year. Next to it is our apple tree, and again, this is 3 years old, and it's looking brilliant. Covered in fruits everywhere. And of course, next to it is the plum tree, and that is also fruiting very well. So we expect to get a lot of plums, hopefully this year. This is the mound where we grow our both potatoes and ochre tubers. So we keep mounding it up, and we had wood chip, and you can see there the potatoes are coming through. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that we're going to get lots of potatoes and ochre tubers this year. And at the back of the polytunnel we have our grow bins. So we've cut down water containers into bins for growing vegetables, and there we can see we've got beetroot, spring onions with a few flowers to brighten the place up. Spring onions, beetroot and celery. So our grow pots are fully planted, and again we expect a really good harvest from those this year. As usual, we have our rose bush that gives us some really lovely bright red rose every year, and next to it is the fig tree, and I should have pruned that back quite a lot this year, but never got round to it, so it's a little wild, but there is still lots of fruit on it, so we're looking to harvest those. And then once we get to the end of the year, that tree will be pruned right back, so it's a little bit more manageable. As usual, we've got sweet corn growing at the back of this area. This is where we normally grow our pumpkins, and we've got a few of those going this year. So we've got sweet corn, pumpkin. Next to it is the big cluster of Jerusalem artichokes, and we might need to start thinning that out because we haven't removed that many artichokes last year, so of course the cluster is getting thicker and thicker. And next to that we have a gooseberry plant that's looking really good. So in pots this year we've got a few sweet corn, as well as we're hoping a cucumber will climb onto the top of the water tank just to keep things okay. And then, as usual, we've got 3 or 4 butternut squash growing next to the water tank, and every year we do this and we end up with butternut squash growing all over the top of the tank, that we just come along and pick. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that it'll be the same again this year, and we'll have quite a few butternut squash to last us through the winter. So our planting day is almost over. 2 days of planting. We're packing up ready to go, and you can see there the allotment is looking lovely. All the plants are in, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that the weather will be manageable and we'll be able to have enough water to run the allotment this year. So we can see the allotment after planting day. The whole allotment is looking superb. I'm very pleased with it. We're seeing some little bits of colour from flowers that we put in last year, perennials, and that's really nice. That's brightening. Even the rhubarb stems is giving off a bit of colour. The chard with its the golden chard and the red stem just had a bit of colour to the allotment, so it's looking really good.